And welcome back on Take Action News. This is Daniel Marins here in the host chair, of course, because Take Action News with David Shuster. David Shuster is on assignment for a couple weeks. I'll be in the host chair this Saturday and next Saturday. Joining me in studio this week is someone helping me out, Dana Bell. She's a stand-up comic from Washington, D.C. And, beyond the issue of the Supreme Court this week, the issue of public opinion on same-sex marriage and on gay rights has just been moving like a tidal wave, unescapable. Even conservative politicians are turning around on this one. Most recently, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska has said that she's reconsidering her position on gay marriage. Congressman Justin Amash of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Of course, all of our listeners in public reality radio in Grand Rapids are represented by him. He's a libertarian congressman, very outspoken on a number of civil liberties issues, as well as the size of government. And he recently came out in favor of legalizing same-sex marriage because he thinks that government shouldn't have a hand in marriage at all. And then there is something a little bit more local. And that is the issue of gifted neurosurgeon Dr. Ben Carson of Johns Hopkins University. There's a little bit of a controversy going on at Johns Hopkins, and I'll disclose that I am an alumnus of the Johns Hopkins University undergraduate program, and so it has special relevance to me, where he did make some remarks that were quite evidently homophobic. He's being considered sort of an up-and-coming conservative rising star because of how articulate he is, how accomplished he is, and of course he is African American. And yet here is what he had to say about gay marriage on Sean Hannity's program just a couple weeks ago. That's Element 6.
What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that marriage is between a man and a woman. It's a well-established fundamental pillar of society. And no group, be they gays, be they NAMBLA, be they people who believe in bestiality, it doesn't matter what they are, they don't get to change the definition.
Pulling a little bit of a Rick Santorum there, comparing the issue of gay marriage, of course, to NAMBLA, the National American Man-Boy Lover Association, which is some kind of a pedophilia group, and bestiality, not exactly where you want to go. And, of course, students at Hopkins, who are not known to be politically active, basically said that, hell no, because Ben Carson was scheduled to be the commencement speaker at the Johns Hopkins University graduation in May. I, of course, remember graduating from Hopkins. Michael Bloomberg was our speaker. A little bit different. You could certainly quibble with a lot of the stances taken by Michael Bloomberg, but he is a Johns Hopkins alumnus, but never said anything quite that offensive. So they circulated a petition saying that they don't want this guy to speak. And apparently this gained a lot of traction amongst the faculty members and the students at Johns Hopkins. Dana, is this a reasonable response?
I think so. I mean, and I think that it's the med school, it's the med students' commencement, not the whole university, is that? But aside from that, it's a matter of like values, and I think that their petition talks about that it's not something that they want reflected on their values, and Ben Carson has considered resigning it, saying that, he doesn't want to rain on their parade. It's their day.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have a clip of that he effectively, I think quite honorably and to his credit, said that he's tired of kind of the overheated rhetoric and that he wanted to move forward and that he was effectively willing to withdraw. Let's see how he said that to Andrew.
Dr. Carson, there are faculty members at Johns Hopkins where you are a celebrated surgeon, and now students who are petitioning against your comments on gay marriage, some who do not believe you should be the commencement speaker as planned. What do you have to say to them? Are you prepared to withdraw as commencement speaker?
Absolutely. I would say that, this is their day. And the last thing I would want to do is rain on their parade.
So have you told the university that you will not be delivering the commencement address?
I am waiting for appropriate channels. I don't think that television is the appropriate channel.
So I mean, that seems pretty redeeming, actually, that at the end of the day he recognizes that he used rhetoric that was hateful or inappropriate, and regardless of his views on the issue, that was not productive, and in fact, he's willing to basically just say, I respect their wishes. Does that redeem him at all?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. It seems like he was picked by Fox and these conservative radio shows as sort of a golden boy and was like thrust into the spotlight pretty early. And I think that his comments, maybe he wasn't aware of the impact that they would have, having not aired them on a national, to a national audience before. And so I think that in terms of how he's dealing with it, at least he's showing some reflection and is willing to take the consequences that his words have caused.
Well, it's certainly interesting to see how this proceeds and how his career proceeds.